Hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining again. I'm here with another client. This time it's Jared, and he's going to share his journey along in the Balanced Bodies program. So Jared, if you could let us know a little bit about where you live and what you do, that'd be great.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jared. Like she said, I currently live in Calgary, Alberta, and I'm a financial advisor. So I work from home, a lot of desk work. Used to do a lot of driving. Nowadays, it's more so a lot of Zoom calls, lots and lots of Zoom calls.
Yes, lots of Zoom calls. I am aware of that too. I am. Okay, so think back to Jared's been a graduate of the program, but I just wanted to have him back on because his journey was pretty spectacular. Where were you with your health and fitness and your happiness, I guess, before joining the program? And then why did you, besides me asking you, why did you decide to reach out, like have me as your coach?
Oh, man. So it was actually funny. So before I joined you're calling it
Balanced Bodies.
Balanced Bodies now. So before it was Balanced Bodies, I was joining this program. It was, I had just finished my own program called 75 Hard. It was 75 days of lots of working out, lots of eating healthy. And I never really had a nutritionist. I kind of just made up my own diet plan. I was doing a lot of intermittent fasting. I thought it was going well. I already dropped a bunch of weight doing that. But then when Carrie reached out and was like, hey, we're starting a new program. I want to have someone that can kind of take a look at this. I know you would actually finish it. At first I was like, I do not want to do another program. I had just finished 75 days. I was like, I just want to go back to eating pizza and drinking booze. I was like, I just want my life back. But then I thought, oh, you know what? I could use someone to teach me kind of what's good to eat for long-term benefits, because I was just kind of making it up as I went. So I was feeling pretty good about myself. I had dropped around 30 pounds doing 75 hard, but there was like that, I hit that like limit. I was like, I can't lose any more weight. I was feeling pretty good, but I wasn't as energetic as I wanted to be. I was kind of tired. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to try something new. I was more doing it because Carrie's amazing and I love her, but it was like, you know what? I'll suck it up. I'll do another 10 or 12 weeks of a program and see what happens.
Yeah. And I remember having our conversation and you were like, I just can't get rid of this right around the middle. And so that was our main focus. And you were doing intermittent fasting, which from a hormonal perspective and from a weight loss perspective, it worked for you for a short amount of time, but it wasn't working to get rid of the belly fat that you were so conscious about. Right.
Yeah.
So that part was like, okay, no, we're going to hone in on this and we're going to get you that 6-pack that you're looking for. And did we do it?
I got a 4-pack. I didn't like a 6-pack. See, this is the thing. I thought I knew enough. This was what blew my mind about your program is that, so I did like hours of research on YouTube, online. I was looking at a bunch of different fitness professionals, most of whom were because I was doing intermittent fasting. So I was reading up about intermittent fasting and all this kind of stuff. And so I thought I was understanding kind of what to do. And I had lost a good amount of weight. So I thought I was on the right track, but I couldn't, like you said, I couldn't lose that belly fat. I couldn't lose love handles. I was like getting frustrated. I read what foods are going to help with that, like what the estrogen, all that other stuff, like how that, I was doing a lot of research and stuff that I had no idea about. So that's what kind of blew my mind about your program is the hormones, like the testing you did at the start of the program was what blew my mind. It was what set it kind of apart from all my friends who talked about diet plans where they get a meal plan from someone and then they just eat what they say and they don't really know why. Yours was very much so like, this is why, these are the tests we do, like take your temperature, like all this kind of stuff. And then you were able to go, you know what, based on these results, this is the food you need to eat. And I think that's what set it apart from most other things for me.
And what did you say to me probably the entire time we were together? It is too much. It's so much
eating. Too much eating. I think the problem was I'd been doing intermittent fasting for like a year and a half, not like always, but like for a lot of the time I was doing like one meal, maybe 2 meals a day, like one big meal and maybe a snack at night before bed, and going from only having to cook once a day to like breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. I was like, oh my gosh, I literally still have alarms on my phone that say breakfast every 3 hours just popping up. And I'm like, oh, I should go eat something. It's a good reminder. But like, if I didn't have that, I forget to eat.
Right. And that was why you were struggling with that belly fat, because your body was like under a tremendous amount of stress
Yeah.
and wasn't allowing the body fat to be released, right? So yeah, that's why it's so important to eat at those intervals, even though, yeah, it feels like a ton of food. And we have like this idea that to lose weight, we have to eat less, right? And that's why, intermittent fasting, sure, I'm not going to say it doesn't work. There's a time and a place for it for sure, but it had done its job for you, right? And we needed to move on to fine tune a little bit. Right.
Yeah. And I was at that point as well, where I was reading up about intermittent fasting from other people again. And I was getting to the point where I was reading a lot of stuff about if you do it for a certain amount of time, your body kind of gets used to your eating schedule, and you got to like shock it to actually losing more weight, or else your body's going to not like metabolize stuff until you eat. So I was reading up about that, and then you reached out and I was like, you know what, now's good time for a change. Like I'm at this point where I just want to like not have to do something so drastic. Like I was doing like 18 hours a day fasting, and then every like once or twice a week I do a 30-hour fast.
Right.
And 30 hours of no food is great for not having to cook, but not great for the hangry when it comes.
Yeah. And like I said, there is a time and a place for fasting, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It's that if you get to a point where you're stuck, or it's worked for a bit, but now it's working, then that's where change has to come in.
Yeah.
And intermittent fasting isn't about eating less throughout the day. It's just eating in less of a window. Yeah. So you're supposed to eat the same amount, just in a short window, as opposed to this, right? And you probably weren't doing that.
8 plates of food.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a lot of food to me, for sure. Now I think as we went through it, now you were on point, like every week, right? You followed to a T what I told you to do. The only thing that we struggled with was your sleep. And I would say that's probably, just, it's a big habit that has to be changed, but you just kind of tell your journey through the sleep of this, like where you were at the beginning and then how we kind of got you a little bit.
We got a little bit. So I am not a morning person. I'm a very much so a night person. I like to stay up. I like the quiet. I like, especially summertime, I like to sit outside and read a book in the dark when it's quiet and you can hear the crickets and stuff. Like that's my happy place. So I was going to bed at like 1 or 2 a.m. consistently when we first started going. And that was like during 75 hard too. I'm doing 2 workouts today and I'm still going to bed at like 1 or 2 a.m. But I make my own schedule and I do a lot of evening meetings. So I wouldn't book my first meeting in the morning till 10 a.m. So I'd be able to sleep in a little bit. And then you started saying, you got to go to bed at 10:30. And I was like, oh my gosh, like there's no way I'm going to bed at 10:30. So it was a struggle. You definitely kicked my ass a little bit. Sorry for my French. But no, it was good. Cause you got me, I think I was going to bed at like on average around 11.
I think we got you down to 11, right? We started with increments, like let's move it back 15 minutes, right? And it was more of not me saying you have to go to bed, right? It was, this is why you have to go to bed by 10. It was
I like
comparative work.
I'm a weird person. I don't like when people just tell me what to do. I really hate it actually when people tell me what to do. I want like reasoning and like, hey, if you want this to happen, this is what you should do. Not like you need to go to bed earlier. And you did a really good job of saying, look, this is actually why you need to sleep. And it kind of struck a chord. It was hard. And I didn't get back down to like 10:30 like you wanted me to, but I did cut it back down from 1 to 2 a.m. down to like 11.
Yeah. So we got there at the end, which was awesome.
Yeah.
You had a goal set for yourself. And I forget the number. I remember what you got to, but we got there in 10 weeks. And that's because you followed everything, right? Followed all the habits, all the water, all the stuff.
Well, and I think so, and this is partly why you asked me to do the program, I think, is because I was just getting off the 75 hard mindset, which was very much so there's no room for, if you don't know what 75 hard is, you can look it up. But I was very much so on there's no cheat days, there's no mistakes. If you mess up on day 74 in one of the 5 things, you go back to day 1. So I was like stringent on things. And then you had asked me to be, because I was one of your first 2 people that joined your program. And this is while you were learning more about it. And I was like, I'm not screwing this up for Carrie. Like for me, it wasn't about me. It was like, I'm not screwing this up for Carrie. She's in school for this. She's getting training on this. I want to be like an actual good person for her to have this program for. And I think that really helped me, having it be for somebody else, especially someone like, I've known you for like almost 2 years now. And yeah, it was awesome. Like, I think having someone that I was doing it for, and like having, especially if you're working out or you're doing a program, having someone you're doing it with is always super helpful. Having someone you're doing it for to help them out is even more important. Like, if you want to go, like one of your friends wants to get in a workout program and they ask you to do it with them, you're doing it for them. You're not as much so doing it for yourself, even though you're going to benefit a tremendous amount from it. And I think that was a huge, huge turning point for me.
Now, along the way, other than, we got you down to your goal weight, was there any other benefits that you found along the way?
Yes. And I don't I like the idea of being healthy, eating healthy, working out, like being active and all that kind of stuff. I don't like the strict diet. This is what you need to eat. This is what you can eat, and having a lot of restrictions and calorie counting. I've never in my life done calorie counting. I don't know how people do it. I can't. I got an app once, that My Fitness Tracker, My Fitness Pal app, and I did it for 1 day, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I can't, like, every time I eat, go in the app. So what I really loved about what your program is I still have all the weekly food logs. I have the list of approved foods that I can eat in every category, and I can just pull it up, go back and go, if I'm falling off, which I have lately. I've been a little bit lazy since I moved. I just moved to Alberta like a year ago. But I'm getting back on track now, and I'm going, I can just like pull up week 1 of Carrie's program, look at what the foods were, and now I can go meal prep, right? Like today, I'm actually planning on doing some meal prep because I don't have a lot of work going on today. And that was the biggest thing for me, is that it wasn't just here's a 10-week diet, hope you hit your goals, and then after the 10 weeks, see you later, and then you gain the weight back. It was like, here's 10 weeks of a program and a lifestyle you can live, and here's why. And if you get off track, go back and go, this is where I was. This is how I get my hormones back on track. Like, it was, I think we did 2 weeks of no carbs to get my insulin levels back on track. So I know now this is what I need to do to get back on track. And that was the biggest thing for me. Like, I went, and in terms of numbers, like you talked about getting my goal weight, I think I was 215, or 220 when we started, and I got down to 190. And we did, now this is a crazy thing. You said in 10 weeks, I think I got down to 190 in like 6 weeks with your program, which was awesome.
And then you just tightened up.
And then just tightened up. Yeah, it was, and I don't really I think 190 is like where I want it to be and where I think I should be with my body type. And it blew my mind. I was like, I haven't been 190 since I was in high school. Like rewind like 10 years. That's the last time I was like, yeah, it was crazy. It was super awesome hitting the goal weight and seeing it happen and having the weekly like picks. Like, I don't know if you're going to show them on the YouTube channel, but it blew my mind. I was like, this is crazy that I went from 75 hard, already lost like 20, 30 pounds, and then was able to lose another 15 in the program, which was sweet.
Yeah. Now, would you say, like, I remember you and I chatting back and forth throughout it, and you were working on, was it handstands or was that after? But you were working on the progress in the gym too. So you had, we incorporated exercise. You were working out at home at that time, but you were able to get the strength that you needed and build the appropriate muscle that you wanted, right?
Yeah. And that, like, I think you actually started doing handstands after I showed you some of my handstand videos. I don't even know why I like handstands so much. I got into handstands when I worked at a trampoline park in Australia. I was doing some, I don't want to call it gymnastics. It definitely wasn't gymnastics, but I was doing some crazy stuff on trampolines. And then I ended up starting to do handstands. And I think after doing your program and during 75 hard too, I was practicing the handstand part, but I think it was once I joined your program and was kind of getting that, like, really dialed in on the nutrition side of things, I was able to get into a press up. So like start on my hands, between my hands, and press myself all the way up to a handstand. And that blew my mind. I was like, this is so cool. And that was huge for me, just for my own personal, like, no actual benefit to being able to do handstands. But
it's just a goal you set for yourself, right? Yeah. Okay, so what would you say to somebody that's considering reaching out to me about the program? Would you give them any advice?
Oh, I've had, and you know this, I've referred a ton of
Yes.
people over to you. I think the biggest thing, like people always ask me, like, what, I actually just had a friend, I think the other week, and she was like, what sets her apart? Like, what do you actually think of Carrie? And I was like, okay, well, are you asking about Carrie or the program? Because I think both are incredible. Carrie's one of my favorite people. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on her YouTube channel. No, Carrie's actually one of my favorite people. And when it comes to the program, it's not just your regular diet. It's not your regular, just here's a diet, stick to it for 10 weeks. It's like she brings you on a journey where you learn why, you learn how, and you learn what to do to fix it. And the thing for me is like, whether you think it's expensive or you think it's not expensive, doesn't matter. It's what is your health worth, right? Like what, and not just like a 10 week, like what's 10 weeks of your time worth? What's the rest of your life worth in terms of like what you're spending money on? And because a lot of my friends are like, the biggest thing is, well, this is expensive or blah, 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 or what's the time frame? Like, look, this 10 weeks is 10 weeks, but you're going to have that knowledge and the plans for the rest of your life. So it's not just a 10-week here, see you later, good luck. It's 10 weeks, here's all the plans, here's the why. Now you can move forward. Like for me, I can move forward now knowing exactly what I need to do to get back on track. And I think that's the biggest thing that I took away from it. When people talk to me, I'm like, you're going to have a plan for life, like a lifestyle, not just a here's a diet, see you later.
Yes, thank you. I was just about to say that it's a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
We're creating habits that in the program, we're creating habits that you can have forever.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, sleep's one of your difficult ones, but you know, in the back of your head that, you know, if you want to get back to the optimal health, you just have to start shifting your bedtime a little bit more. And
there's a little angel Carrie on my shoulder every night. But if I don't go to bed at the right time, she's like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on here today. It was great to hear your story and your journey through this. And we'll sign off. So
Awesome.
see you later.